And it is time now for the Unlimited Lights Championship at Seafair. And here are your headlines. The defending champ, Kaylee Perkins. Can she do it again? Her biggest threat may be once her biggest supporter, Paul Becker. Let's see what he can do in the UL-14. And is another Muncie's name going to be etched on a trophy here at Seafair? Will Muncie, can he do it? This is your Unlimited Lights Championship.
The Graham Truck Cup Unlimited Lights Championship is brought to you by Staples. For all your back-to-school needs, Staples. That was easy. And presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking, specializing in heavy intermodal drayage, flatbed, refrigerated, and dry cargo around the Pacific Northwest.
Well, let's take a look at the lineups here on the Muckleshoot lineup card, and it's going to take two different pages. We've got so many boats. The Sammamish Mortgage, the Foster Care, Smetco, John Howie Stake, that's the Will Muncie boat, Vestas Foreclosure, the Power Punch, King and Bunnies, and then your two trailers, Prilosec, and the Miss Hyundai boat, the Vince Sidaro at the controls. And lo and behold, look around at 3.5 minutes to race time. The sun has emerged here on Lake Washington as we get set. The log boom is ready, and we're ready to go racing. Let's take a look at the drivers here in this championship Unlimited Lights. We've got all manner of drivers, from Kevin Egret to Rod Bork, Vince Zidaro, Kelly Stockland, Chris Grant, Paul Becker, Bob Smets, and Will Muncie, and here we go. Kevin Egret.
This guy starts real fast. Unfortunately, he doesn't always finish right with the rest of them, but he's been getting better and better, and he could be a spoiler in this final.
How about Rod Bork in the Vestas Foreclosure? Let's take a look at what he's done today, Chip.
Not the fastest boat, but I think he's been one of the best driving, done one of the best driving jobs here this weekend.
Boats are out on the water. Let's see who's next coming up. That's going to be the King and Bunnies boat with Kelly Stockland at the controls.
Had a little bad luck earlier on. Didn't have a chance to really show what he's got. Maintained enough points to get to the final heat through the error in the B main, and now he lets it all hang out.
Paul Becker is one of the drivers, and so is the Prilosec team with Chris Grant at the controls. He's a trailer.
You know, being a trailer, I think he may need to take some Prilosec because I think that's for acid reflux. And when you drive back there in that rough water, you get a little acid reflux.
And now let's take a look at Paul Becker. He with the Sammamish Mortgage boat, Mike.
On paper, looks like he should have this Seafair race, but you can't always be certain of that because there's a big red boat that's going to have something to say about that with a young lady who is keeping an eye on him even as we speak.
And that is the UL-72 Foster Care boat with Kaylee Perkins at the controls.
You know, Kaylee gets a lot of attention, and that's good, but what also comes with that attention is pressure. There's a lot of pressure on Kaylee. That motor's going to be tough to make a great start on the inside. She may have to keep it wound up on the outside, but she can still win from there.
Chris Francis in the pits. She looked pretty cool to us.
She did look cool. There are a lot of people here just in her pit, so you're right. The pressure's on. Boy, it'll be a celebration if she can come back in here and take this win.
Taking a look at the remainder of the drivers, Bob Smets in his Smetco, and he's still, I believe, in the pits. I don't know if he's going to get off the trailer or get rolling here.
Don't know if he is either. If he is able to get going, though, this is a guy that won one heat out here and really came from nowhere to surprise everybody. Now it looks like he may be having some problems.
Yeah, Lee, you're down there. They're not going, are they?
Yeah, guys, I hate to tell you, I just talked to the crew. The battery is dead.
Oh,
it worked during the warm-up. They don't know what happened. They're checking it out right now, but word from the crew is they are not going to make it out. They're trying to put the hull back on, so we'll keep the camera on it and see if anything changes.
And how about that UL-00 boat, the John Howie Stake boat with Will Muncie at the controls, Chip?
If Will Muncie were to win this race, I think we'd see emotion like we've never seen ever in the history of this sport. It'd be quite a story for Will Muncie to win here in Seattle.
Well, there's only one man that can really call the Unlimited Lights Championship, and he is the voice of the sport. Well, let's head to him right now. Well, there's the final trailer, by the way, Vince Zidaro. And we know that he's maybe got enough boat, but he is certainly the kind of driver that can muscle his way through this course. And now we turn things over to the man, John Lynch.
Thank you, Steve. It's the Graham Trucking Cup presented by Power Punch Performance Lubricants. Here comes the start. Rod Bork in 1, Will Muncie in 2, Paul Becker in 3. It is a good start. Lee Perkins back in 4th. Kelly Stockland working hard on the outside in 5th place. Then back to Kevin Ekrit, and Vince Sodaro is the trailer as they go into the first turn. You can see from that aerial shot, Paul Becker has the advantage, but Rod Bork with that inside lane. Will Muncie ran into a rooster tail as the boat wouldn't hold. So at the exit pin, Rod Bork inside, Paul Becker outside down the backstretch, and Kaylee Perkins going quick down the backstretch in 3rd, gaining on Rod Bork and moving up alongside.
She's got a long ways to go, though. Those guys are way out front. She was late at the start, and we talked about that motor being difficult to get to the start line. I think it cost her dearly.
Paul Becker won this race 2 years ago, led this race for 2 laps the year before. He's back in form. His boat is back in form, and that crew from Western Washington University College of Science and Technology, they've got it wound up well. It's Paul Becker at the end of 1, but Kaylee Perkins moving up quickly in the Foster Care Triad Racing Technologies. She has 2nd place. Rod Bork on the inside in 3rd. Then it's Will Muncie, Kelly Stockland, Vince Sodaro, and back to Kevin Ekrit into the turn.
Wow, Kaylee Perkins right back there. She was really late at the start, but for her to make up that much ground in 1 lap tells me that that Toyota motor can power her right by Becker.
Paul Becker's got 509 cubic inches of big block V8 down that back chute in a boat that likes it here at Seattle. And Becker is in the lead in that Sammamish Mortgage with 2nd place Kaylee Perkins. She's no longer gaining. Looks like they got the word to Paul. Hey, she's right there. And then in 3rd, it's Rod Bork having a great run. Back to 4th place. Looks like Vince Sodaro has moved up into 4th place.
I think maybe the Paul Becker thought he had it made, but his radio guys got to him and said, here comes Kaylee. Now he's stretching back out a little bit.
And here comes Paul Becker at the end of 2. Becker in the UL 14 in front. Kaylee Perkins still within a rooster tail in 2nd place with enough time to go as Paul Becker and Kaylee Perkins 1-2. Rod Bork having a great run in the Vestas Foreclosure Group in 3rd. Vince Sodaro from the trailer has moved up to 4th place.
Kaylee Perkins now has to hope that that Paul Becker hits some rough water. She's still moving up on him. She's still got a shot, although a long shot.
Paul Becker with the lead down the backstretch, trying to make it 2 wins in 3 years here in Seattle. Last year's winner trying to reel him in on the final lap of this 5-mile final heat lap of the Graham Trucking Cup presented by Power Punch Performance Lubricants. And into the final turn,
there's
it's Becker and Kaylee, and they're just about dead even.
Kaylee can still pull this off. It's going to be a great drag race. It's going to be very close, John. Bring us home.
At the exit pin, Becker with about a boat length over Perkins as they come down to the run. It's going to be dynamite close. Paul Becker, Kaylee Perkins. Paul Becker is going to hang in there for the win. Paul Becker from Bellevue with the victory over Kaylee Perkins in 2nd place. Then there's a great battle for 3rd. It looks like it's going to be Rod Bork, his best ever performance in Seattle. He takes 3rd. The X-Man, Vince Sodaro, 4th place. And Kevin Ekrit, the rookie in the supercharged Power Punch boat, comes on to take 5th place.
Kaylee was awfully late at that start, and I think it cost her the race. Paul Becker was right on the money, drove very well, never made any mistakes, but I was amazed how much ground that Kaylee made up.
You saw how Paul Becker ran last year. That was a year after that big accident he had at Silverdale. It took a year for that team and that driver to get together. They've got it back together now. Wins in 2008 and a win here in 2010 for Paul Becker.
Now, John, doesn't he also have some new engineering help come from Western Washington University that I think is signed on with Paul Becker to help with some of the engineering on that
Absolutely.
boat?
In fact, his original pit crew came with his son and his friends from Newport High School. Several of them went to Western Washington. They've graduated. Now the school has sent some new pit crew members, so they're keeping up the technology building from Western Washington University in Bellingham. And Paul Becker right there, your winner in the Sammamish Mortgage, WWU, and Go Navy. And Paul Becker, he's not just a driver on behalf of the Navy. He not only talks the talk, he walked the walk. He is a Naval Aviator retiree, and Paul Becker takes it all the way for the podium top here at Seattle.
He could also be piloting your commercial flight
Absolutely. All you got to do is hop on board his Delta flight if you're going to Japan or someplace like that, and there you go.
Frankly, if I got on a Delta flight and saw Paul Becker, I'd get off. And,
well, you'd start on time, though, right?
You'd start on time. And, I've been saying it all weekend long, how important starts are. I'd like to talk a little bit about Rod Bork again. Rod Bork got beat. Where did he finish? Third. But again, if I was just evaluating drivers, I would give Rod Bork an A+. He had great starts on the inside all day long.
He has the smallest boat out there. He's got the smallest engine, the only Ford engine in the field, and Rod Bork just makes it work. He was really discouraged a couple of years ago. His boat really took a pounding here, but this year, your third place at Tri-Cities, third place here. Rod Bork's doing a great job.
And I have to be honest, Kaylee did not have a great driving day today. She really wasn't on time a lot of times. She was outside, so this wasn't one of Kaylee's best driving performances.
Well, let me ask you, as a longtime driver, because I've always wondered about this from the unlimited light standpoint. You go through the preliminary heats, you go through that, and then you're in the final. And this morning, Kaylee did not go out and test. Will Muncie did not go out and test. Neither one of them had a top finish. It's the first time in the water, and you're in the final. Is that a good idea?
It's not for me. I always had to run on Sunday morning, and I think we can maybe get to talk to Kaylee right now. Lee, do you have Kaylee down there? Or I'm sorry, Chris. Chris, do you have Kaylee?
I do.
Go ahead. Go for it.
All right, Kaylee, hey, you almost reeled them in at the end, but the start was where I guess it cost you, huh?
Yeah, I was a little late. My guys did everything they did, and it's my fault. I messed up, and sorry to my team. I'll do better next time.
I mean, talk about that race at the end. I mean, you almost reeled them in there.
Oh man, it was so close. I thought I was going to catch him. Paul's just a little bit faster than I was today and made a better start, so he deserves the win. They worked really hard, and I'm really proud to get to race against him.
You got a comment about your weekend. I mean, it may not be the championship of last year, but still a great weekend.
It was a great weekend. Getting to win a heat yesterday, taking out the Oberto, and taking second and showing everybody what a small block Toyota can do is a lot of fun. I've had a great weekend.
All right, Kaylee, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And over to Steve.
About a half a boat length difference between those two as they hit the finish line. Quite a race, and as you said, coming from as far back as she did, Chip, it was quite a driving job. Paul Becker, as she said, just had a little more speed there at the end.
He did. He did a great job driving, but I'm very, very optimistic about that Toyota motor. NASCAR maybe coming into racing, and it's the first time we've had a major engine manufacturer, show any interest in boat racing at all. So I'm excited.
And a good point about that, they're in stock. You can have one shipped out tomorrow and have it on Tuesday if you needed one in a hurry.
Well, let's check in with the winner right now. That would be Paul Becker with our Lee Stoll.
All right, Paul, 2 wins in 3 years. You must be ecstatic.
I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic for these guys because they got the job done. And Ed went somewhere here. Ed built the motor. Ed's Automotive in Mukilteo. Sammamish Mortgage, we got the job done. Fantastic.
Did your radio crew tell you anything? You had a lead, and then Kaylee was coming up behind you pretty quickly.
I was out of the water a lot of the time. I was banging off the chip, and then they said, "Here she comes, go, go!" So I just put it on the floor and let her fly.
And that's what worked. You have one of the youngest pit crews here. A lot of the students from Western Washington, they must have done something right for you.
They did. They're the hardest working group I've ever seen, and Western Washington College of Technical Engineering is extremely proud of these young men. They're incredibly professional, and is bringing them life lessons for launching an engineering career, which I know a little bit about.
Just a little bit. Paul, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Steve, back to you.
I can't wait to see those young men throw Paul into the water. I just think that's going to happen at some point. Here are your, okay, well, he's going to get wet one way or another. Here are your unofficial results from your Lights Championship race here at Seafair. Paul Becker with the Sammamish Mortgage Boat and Western Washington College of Engineering. Congratulations to them. And there is Kaylee Perkins Foster Care Triad Racing in second place, followed by Vestas Foreclosure, the Miss Hyundai Boat, Power Punch, King and Bunnies, John Howie Steak, and Prilosec OTC. Your unofficial results, the Unlimited Lights Championship race at Seafair.
The Grand Trucking Cup Unlimited Lights Championship has been brought to you by Staples. For all your back-to-school needs, Staples. That was easy.
And as the first and second place drivers congratulate each other, we'll tell you that coming up, the championship of the Albert Lee Cup at Seafair is right around the corner.